Hello and thanks for joining us here on THV 11 News at noon. I'm Hayden Balgavy alongside meteorologist Corrales Ortiz. Corrales, amazing to see you. Now, we do have some information to start this afternoon. The Little Rock Board of Directors preparing to give updates on the city's storm response and recovery efforts any minute now at the Little Rock Emergency Operations Center. Now, as we've been discussing, a lot of details going on. We've been dealing with this cleanup effort for what? This is day 3, the full day 3, 2 beautiful days to clean up. And now, as I know you're getting ready to tell us, we're going to have to get ready for another round of severe weather.
It's not something that we want to hear. There's a lot of people who are still a little bit antsy with what they dealt with on Friday. And unfortunately, this is going to be our 9th consecutive week where we're seeing that threat for severe weather once again. So this is what we have in terms of our severe weather threat, which is actually sometime Tuesday afternoon and even into the early morning hours on Wednesday. So we can expect anything from damaging winds, large hail, and yes, even a few tornadoes, some of which could be strong, so we cannot rule that out. I know the threat is not nearly as high as what we saw Friday, but that is subject to change just because there's still a lot of specifics that still need to be worked out. But yeah, as you said, today is the 3rd day of quiet weather. We are actually seeing improvement slowly for today. I know it's a little bit gloomy out there, but as you can see in our visible satellite, we're slowly starting to see that cloud cover recede from west to east, so we'll see some sunshine later this afternoon. At the same time, a warm front is going to slowly push in. It's going to quickly warm us up. It's cool now because of the cloud cover. You can already see temperatures in the low to mid 70s to our south, quickly warming up into the low 80s, possibly mid 80s across southern Arkansas, with that sunshine peeking through later this afternoon and a bit of a breeze out of the south and west. So that's what we're expecting for today. But as I mentioned, severe weather risk for Tuesday and Wednesday is going to be our main weather story once again. I have more details on what we can expect in your forecast coming up.
All right, Corrales, thank you so much for those details. Now, what we have been discussing, and quite frankly, some bad news, is those power outages we've had to deal with. Now, temperatures have been nice over the weekend, and of course, Saturday and Sunday was beautiful, but since Friday, crews have been working hard to restore that electricity. They've made a lot of progress, but they still have a ways to go. Now, at this hour, nearly 13,000 Arkansas customers still in the dark. That is according to this map you see on your screen from poweroutage.us. Now, we're seeing about 10,000 outages in Pulaski County and 2,200 over in Wynne in Cross County. Now, to give everybody a little bit of perspective, Energy Arkansas says that 56,000 customers statewide were without power right after the storm on Friday. Well, shaken but not destroyed. The storm may have blown away the building that housed the New Commandment Church of God in Christ. That's in Jacksonville. But as THV 11's Journey Taylor shows us, the congregation remains unwavering.
That's why my heart is filled with praise.
You see those beams? They came down from other places. That's not part of New Commandment.
Pastor Eddie Miller says God has showed his church grace. Even after paying off the mortgage for the church on March 5th, he says nothing happens without God allowing it to happen, and God showed his mercy by sparing lives. And Pastor Miller says if that storm would have been delayed by just 1 hour, the church would have been filled with at least 200 people. On Friday night, they had a youth program scheduled. The sanctuary, as you can see, just a disaster. But one thing left untouched, these 3 crosses here on this wall.
That's how quickly things can change. But the thing we have to wonder, is your faith real? Is it still strong when adversities come? When problems happen like this, do you still love God? Do you still believe God? And my answer is yes.
Pastor Miller says at the start of the year, they had been planning to do a service outside of the church for the community to draw those outside closer to God.
I guess God said, you're not moving fast enough.
I love you. I love you, Lord. I love you. I love you, Lord.
I commend y'all and for being here and being resilient and persevering through hard times.
The service starting at 11 a.m. with no planned time to end. One mission in mind, bring hope back to the community.
We're the church, and we're strong.
Miller saying he hasn't been sad at all during this time.
Excited about the next level. We just turned the page to a new chapter.
In fact, happy even that they can publicize what God has done and will do for them.
That was Journey Taylor reporting now. Pastor Miller also telling her oftentimes disasters scatter people, but it was very important so that the church could stay together and welcome in any family or friends that needed to stop by. And we are getting a closer look, our first look at the damage inside a grocery store devastated by Friday's tornado. The Kroger, located in the Colony West Shopping Center at Rodney Parham Road and I-430, took a direct hit. Oh, you can see the damage in this video. It was taken by a woman who was shopping inside the Kroger at the time of the tornado when it struck. Now you can hear that fire alarm going off. She told us that people were huddled on the floor, holding on to each other, simply praying. Now she says that she took this cell phone video as she was leaving the store. She walked out to find the windows blown out of her car and debris simply covering the parking lot.
Once we came out, we just seen the aftermath and the debris of everything, like the vehicles flipped and people crying, and it was just a sad situation.
Now that Kroger is still closed at this time. The parking lot is riddled with cars that were damaged in Friday's storm. Please avoid the area to allow those crews to clean up and try to restore power. Now, we know a lot of you are looking for ways to lend a hand this Monday afternoon. If you just text the word GIVE to 501-376-1111, you'll get a full list of things you can do for those that have been impacted by these storms. Again, just text the word GIVE to the number on your screen, 501-376-1111. In other news, this afternoon, Saturday marked the end of Medicaid for about 15 million recipients. About 1 in 6 of those who received the government health insurance lost their coverage on April 1st. That's because states once again started checking eligibility of everyone on Medicaid following the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, some now make too much money to qualify for the program, while others may have relocated. To national news now. In the last hour, former President Donald Trump took off from Florida on his way to New York City to face criminal charges. He was indicted last week on charges related to a hush money scheme. Naomi Ruckham is outside the courthouse in Manhattan, where nearly the entire New York City Police Department is on alert for his return.
Former President Donald Trump is expected to arrive in New York this afternoon ahead of his arraignment Tuesday. A Manhattan grand jury voted last week to indict him, making him the first former president in history to face criminal charges.
He will be brought into the courtroom. The indictment will be unsealed, and for the first time, the defendant, Donald J. Trump, and his attorneys and the rest of us will learn what the charges are.
The indictment is still under seal, but a source familiar with the case tells CBS News that Trump will likely be charged with falsifying business records in the first degree, a felony stemming from his alleged role in hush money paid to adult film star Stormy Daniels back in 2016. The former president maintains he did nothing wrong.
We will very loudly and proudly say not guilty.
For weeks, Trump has criticized Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, and on Friday, he went after the judge assigned to the case, writing on social media, "Judge Juan Merchan hates me." With the former president calling for protests, security is extra tight here at the courthouse to prevent anything close to the January 6th Capitol riot from happening again.
You're not storming the courthouses. That's not going to happen. I'm sure our executives have reviewed January 6th and what went wrong. So they're anticipating any kind of issues like that.
Sources tell CBS New York that 35,000 NYPD officers are on standby for the arraignment. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
In a statement, an NYPD spokesperson said there are no current credible threats to New York City.
I have made a decision, and my decision is I'm going to run for president of the United States. While the formal announcement
Former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson announcing he will run for president. He did it during an interview on ABC. Hutchinson has spent the past few months visiting battleground states. Now, he's been hinting at a possible presidential run for a while now. During that interview we just saw, he said he'll be making a formal announcement later this month in Bentonville.
Son's bedroom.
Well, when we come back, CBS News' Omar Villafranca here in Little Rock, showing the nation the aftermath of Friday's tornado. That story in 2 minutes, but first, Corrales, what can we expect for the weather today?
Yeah, this weekend was just the calm after the storm. Very much needed, but unfortunately, we do have another round of some severe weather we really need to be paying attention to by your Tuesday and Wednesday. I'll have more details and the impacts we can expect and more on the timing as well, just ahead.